What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Mongoose, and I am not a doctor, but I play one on the internet. And this right here is the third and final game in our Ghost Recon Tournament TV series, and I've decided I'm just going to upload the entire game because I'm I'm not lazy. I don't know what you're talking about. I am uploading this game because it's good. Yeah, really, really good. No, yeah, I'm kind of lazy, and I actually did go through this, and I edited it, and I checked it out. I've got 3 minutes, 4 minutes at most, and I can't talk about what I want to talk about in this in 3 minutes. So I am just going to upload the entire game, and you can see what this game looks like when it's played out in its entirety. And I think this is a good game to do it. This was the best game we played. Not the closest game, mind you. The closest game was the chopped up version of Game 2 that I just showed you, but it was a good game because the other team finally challenged us. The story behind this is that they gave us about 40 minutes or so of practice at before the tournament started, and they had these two teams playing each other for about 40 minutes while I got the live stream set up and they were doing their thing. And so we were just bending these guys over. Like, they could not touch us, and they still couldn't touch us. We had won 8-0. That was the record of the series. But this game, this final penultimate game, which it wasn't actually for $200, Thunder Dave lied. We did not get our money. It's very saddening. But the game was excellent. Both teams were pretty evenly matched. We had really good back and forth going on when it came to the points, and the game is just about as close as it was in Game 2. We win by like 100 more points, but it's worth it just to see how this game plays out, and it's a good backdrop for what I'm going to talk about, which is the subject of this video, and that is the pros and cons, like what I like about it, what's good, what's bad, and my personal recommendation for it. Starting out, this is on LAN, and like almost every shooter out there, LAN is the way to go. And this thing plays absolutely amazingly on LAN. There is nothing wrong with it. I will go out and say that if this game has a big enough following, it could be a viable competitive title, and it's exciting. It is very, very exciting. I mean, some gun balance issues aside, because, like I said, in the last video, the gun customization is pants-crappingly insane. Like, you can... Basically, for one of my guys, my rifleman, because there are 3 classes, rifleman, scout, and engineer. My rifleman, I have his ACR, one of his guns, customized to the point where I have an assault rifle that functions as an SMG in rate of fire and power. I mean, it functions as an LMG in rate of fire and power and ammo capacity, but with the control of a rifle. So I'm basically unstoppable when it comes to this sort of stuff. So I would say that this game could certainly be a viable competitive title, and I would definitely support it and maybe even compete in it if it became one. But pros and cons of the game, because we're all going to be playing this online, and that's really what you want to know about. The game is very, very fun online, and I think it's a great game because it's finally got a balance between a game that you have to be skilled to play, and you have to be skilled to play as, and you're rewarded for that skill. But if you do not play as a team, your skill, it's not, it is not a Call of Duty. It's not even a Halo where you can carry a team. You need to work as a team. A team of 6 people together that are not necessarily amazing. They could even be kind of noobish, but they're working together as a team and they have good strategies, will beat a team of just individual random players that are highly skilled 9 out of 10 times. And I like that because it's a game that rewards teamwork over skill, and it has a skill gap. A team, you can tell when you're playing against good people or bad people because of how the game plays and how close the game gets, and just the way that the way they balance this game, at least as far as from a competitive standpoint, is amazing. I have not seen a game that works this well competitively in a while. And it might be a complete accident, but kudos to Ubisoft to getting getting this multiplayer right in that way. Issues I have with it. The net, like the code or whatever they did to get multiplayer up, it's bad. It is really bad. You will be stuck in infinite load lobbies constantly. You will have issues with your squad sticking together. There will be issues with just forming a squad, and there can be some really, really bad lag from time to time. I mean, horrendously bad. Like, how the kill cams work is you see the last like 10 seconds of your life, and the person in third person seeing it, you can see how bad this lag is, where you'll die from one shot after you should have killed someone. The lag is a huge issue. I mean, the lag is not game breaking, but it can be deal breaking. So I mean, take that as you would. I don't find it too bad, but I'm also on a pretty decent connection, and I've only run into it once or twice, but when I have, it has been really frustrating. So, I mean, take that for what you will, as far as buying the game, but otherwise, that's really the biggest flaw. There are some balance issues with the guns. Like I said, you can there are god guns. Luckily, these god guns are at higher tiers. Like, you have to be a pretty high level to unlock them, but there are just some god guns. Like one of the sniper rifles, like I can't remember what the name of it is. One of the later snipers you unlock is quite overpowered, especially if you customize it in the right way. One of the items they have is called an OTR scope, and basically this game has a system of what's called detection. So it means, and you'll see it pop up on screen, where if you are detected, if at any time you're detected and you are, what happens is on people's radar you will appear as they can see you, they'll see you through walls, and you'll appear as that red outline. And until that detected things goes away and your radar starts flashing in the bottom right hand corner, is they will be able to see you. Like, you can see it right here with this green guy. I can see him because he's on my team, but like if someone on the other team was detected, I could see them. If it pops up, I'll point it out for you guys. They have an item called the OTR scanner that gets attached to a sniper rifle, and what that does is, as soon as you point it at someone, they're auto detected for about 5 to 10 seconds, and that can be life or death in this game, because people really aren't bullet sponges. They'll die with about 4 or 5 shots. So that detection is really important, especially because this game is all objective based. You just saw right there, a guy was briefly detected, and so, especially because this game is all objective based, and if you can just keep detecting people, so it can be very game breaking to see someone just to have a sniper sit back at your base, at your spawn, because there is a certain cutoff point where people can't get into your spawn, and just have him sit back in your spawn with a sniper rifle and an OTR scanner and just detect people going for the objective, because every objective has a line of sight where you can get an elevated position or a sniper in place. All the maps are designed with that in mind. So the OTR scanner is not necessarily game breaking, but it is very overpowered. It needs to be nerfed. I would say it needs to just make things detected for the sniper itself. That could probably be a fix. Granted, I've not used the OTR scanner, so I might be mixing up some of its uses, but that is what it feels like when I've played against it. Another issue is the stun gun. You can unlock the stun gun. It's called a decision point. At certain levels, you'll have to decide between, hey, do I want this gun or this gun? Do I want this a little upgrade or do I want that little upgrade? And you've made that choice for the game. The stun gun, it's not overpowered because it does have a certain effective range, and outside of that range you can't use it, so it's balanced in that sense, but the amount of time that you stay stunned is about a minute and a half. I mean, it is ridiculous amount of time to be stunned and laying on the ground. And your teammates can come pick you up, but then picking you up takes another 5 to 7 seconds. So this is anywhere from, anywhere from 7 seconds to almost 2 minutes of game time being just laying on the ground vulnerable, and you can't do anything about it. So they really need to nerf that. I mean, granted, when you're on the receiving end, it sucks when you're stunning people left and right because the reload time on that thing is amazingly quick. It is. If you want to troll someone, like if you want to kind of pull an only use me blade and you just run around with a knife, running around with a stun gun is cathartic as all hell. It is so enjoyable. Just like not even to go for the objective. You just want to have fun and you don't want to take things seriously. Run around with a stun gun, and you will just have the most fun because you can just run around and knock people out. Other issues. Those are really the only few ones. And like I said, for me, a lot of the time it all comes back to competitive play, and I think this game could be very, very competitive. If you balance some of the weapons or maybe just take out a few of the weapons from competitive play, or take away some customization options, it works very well as a competitive game, and it's very enjoyable. The map, actually, maps is something that maps is something I do want to talk about. I just remembered that. Maps in this game, they're very well balanced for the most part. There are two maps. Only two maps, and out of like 7 or 8 maps, no, I think it's like 6 to 8 maps. Out of 6 to 8 maps being shipped, there's one, maybe 2. The second one could be argued, but there's one map that is imbalanced, and that's Harbor. And the map is really overpowered, really imbalanced to the ghost side, because the objectives are on a random movement path, but there are only certain places they can spawn, and there's only so many places objectives can be on the map, and almost and 70% of them are all on the ghost side of the map, and they're very easy to get to off of spawn. And the first objective almost exclusively spawns literally maybe 100 feet from the ghosts. So, and they can get it's a very easily defendable place if you have a setup going. Tons of areas for crossfire. That is really the only broken map I would say there is. An argument can be made for Pipeline, because once you get set up, it is just a spawn trap on that map, and even with shifting spawn points, it's still spawn trap heaven. So that one can be a little spawn trappy, but as a map goes, it's pretty balanced. If two good teams are playing each other, there's not going to be any spawn trapping, and it's all about fighting for position and getting control. If you're playing a bad team, you're going to bend them over and fuck them in the ass. I mean, that's just how it works with any bad team. But final verdict. Moving, I've talked about, how I feel about the game. On land as a competitive title, as all these good things. Just enjoyment factor. I enjoyed it. This game was fun. From the moment I picked up the controller, I hadn't played the beta. I was going into this blind. From the moment I picked the game up on the day of the tournament, it was amazingly fun. Amazingly fun. I was having the time of my life. I hadn't had this much fun with a game, just kind of from a pure enjoyment standard. Like, it wasn't a Halo where, I'm thinking about, oh, will MLG pick this up, or like, is it going to live up to my expectations of Halo 2? It wasn't a Call of Duty where I hate that series to begin with, and I don't find it fun at all. It wasn't a Battlefield where, there are a lot of game-breaking issues and glitches right off the bat. It wasn't like anything I had played before. Like, it had a little hodgepodge mix of everything that I enjoyed in the game. And more importantly, it was just fun. I could just kind of, not necessarily turn my brain off, but I didn't have to, all the things that go through my mind when it comes to a game, because, most shooters, it's only these big 3 titles that are coming out nowadays. It's it's a Call of Duty, it's a Halo, it's a Battlefield, and you know how these play, and you know how these work. So you go in with preconceptions, and it will always affect how you look at a game. This, it was just, you know, this is fun. This is enjoyable. This is brand new, and I can just have fun with it. You know, and that was day one. That was at the tournament when I was playing, you know, for prizes and, you know, some prestige. The gameplay is wrapping up, but you know, I'll just finish my thoughts and I'll go over the last couple minutes of this. That is really what I loved about the game. Having played it and having, you know, dealt with some of these issues, it is a little annoying. The game can be frustrating at times. The game does have its issues, but overall, I'm still having that same level of fun from the first time I picked the game up. And I don't have any complaints. Well, obviously I do. You heard my complaints, but they're not complaints like you would get from maybe a Call of Duty where, you know, there's one-man army and noob tubes that literally stop people from playing the game. It's not a sort of issues with Battlefield where, you know, shooting someone doesn't do anything, or, you know, Halo where bad game mechanics ruin a game. There's nothing horrendously wrong, and it's just, you know, it's a few little things. And a lot of people will talk about how, you know, a few little things will truly wreck and ruin a game, but this, it's difficult to explain. This, it's not something that'll ruin the game. There are things that can be balanced out by, you know, editing the game or patching it, or they're the things that are fixed without needing to shift things around. Where in a Call of Duty, you know, it's a broken mechanic that you can't take out. Or if it's in Battlefield, it's, you know, from something that they designed in or they can't fix without you know, re-releasing the game entirely. Or Halo, where they had to patch it in after they switched developers completely. So if you guys want a game where you're just gonna have fun, this is the game for you. You're going to enjoy yourself. It has the doctor's seal of approval on it, and I could not recommend it more for you guys. If you want a game that also serves a competitive need and your competitive urges, this is an amazing game for it. I won't say it's, you know, the next great competitive title, but it's not something that, it's something that you're going to want to keep an eye out for. And
so that pretty much takes us to the end of our tournament. Dave, any closing thoughts?
That's really all I can say about it, guys. I mean, there's not much more to be said, but go out, get the game. It is $60, very, very well spent, and I know you guys will enjoy it. Once you get it, come back, you know, leave a video response or leave a comment what you guys thought if you go get the game, or if you have the game, tell me what you're thinking, because I do like to hear what you guys are doing. But guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. You know, subscribe, rate, subscribe the video. You can follow me on Twitter if you want some random ramblings from my head. But as always, guys, my name is Dr. Mongoose. Watch 2 of my videos and call me in the morning.
What would you like to say to close out the tournament?
I would just like to say that I think Ghost Recon Future Shoulder is an amazing game. I think that it's extremely competitive, and all these guys did great. Remember, it was their first time playing the game. It just came out today, so pick up your copy and pick up some Neo Energy.
All right, excellent. Now, if you guys enjoyed our live stream today, we've got another live stream for you tomorrow. Video Game History Month continues, and our very own Tom McShay is going to be playing pretty much almost, if not every, then most Zelda games that have come out throughout the history of Zelda's existence. So tune into that tomorrow, and that pretty much does it. So for Thunder Dave and Tom T Squared Taylor, thanks a lot for watching, everybody.